personally, on a selfish note, from my first experience of Thursday night football at Virginia Tech, it was everything I always thought it would be and more. Our fans were fantastic, made it incredibly difficult on Miami. Coach Rick has got a very good and talented team. I think they're going to have a very bright future. I'm awfully proud of the way our guys played, really in all phases of the game, to earn a pretty tough win.
Obviously, not having Ken or Nigel up front is never good, but you guys were able to get pressure on Kyle all night long. How were you guys really able to do that?
Well, you're right. It was, it was an issue not having Ken and Nigel. They both played at a high level and played a lot of football for us. But I was really proud of the guys that filled in. They had been playing better as the season went along. I kind of always refer back to what we said when we started. We knew that we were going to have challenges like that, and that the mark of our team's potential would be made on how well the guys that fill in for them play. And I thought we filled in admirably. Obviously, Coach Foster, Coach Wiles, Coach Mitchell, and Coach Scott put together a great plan on how to create pressure either through twists and games or bringing people from the secondary, and our guys did a good job executing it.
We'll go back to Jason.
Coach, you guys went to Bucky Hodges quite a bit. What did you all see there, and how did you feel like that connection worked for you guys throughout the night?
Well, they were really focused in on Isaiah. We felt like we needed to move him around a little bit, and our general philosophy is that we should be able to take whatever the defense gives us. So if that means that Cam gets catches or Bucky gets catches or we have to run the ball more, whatever it is, you got to feel good about those other guys. If you're having a hard time getting the ball to Isaiah, those guys being able to defeat one-on-one coverage and make plays.
Second time that you guys have taken a loss and then bounced back in impressive fashion. What did you see during the week that maybe led you to believe this might happen, and what is it about your guys that's happened twice?
Well, I don't know. I do know that we didn't have time to dwell on what happened last week as much as we didn't like it. We had to pour all our focus into the game because it was coming quickly. And I felt good about our plan, about the way we practice heading into the game. I feel confident in our ability to attack the short week. I think our kids sense that and kind of accepted the plan or digested the plan in terms of what we were going to do offensively and defensively, and went out and executed it pretty well.
I also got a spark from Trayvon McMillan. He seemed like he ran very hard behind the line. What did you like from the running game tonight?
Yeah, I thought Trayvon ran hard. I thought, Marshawn didn't have as many carries, but he had a few, and he got in there and did a pretty darn good job as well. I like the way that we protected the football, first and foremost. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
You mentioned that you needed guys to step up front to replace Kenneth and Nigel. How well, in your eyes, did Woody Barron play today? And did you see that at all during the week, that he was due for a breakout game?
Well, I would imagine, without looking at statistics or just anything, that Woody played pretty well. He's a very good player, very dependable, highly intelligent guy that's played a lot of snaps, and we need him to play well. And he certainly answered the call today.
The Sam Rogers pass, and I don't know, was the one to Ford going to be a pass as well?
It was.
Yeah.
We didn't quite make it to the pass part.
No. But had that been in the books for a while, or just what was the thinking behind using it?
Yeah, those have been, things that we've been carrying, or we're always going to carry something. We may not call them every week. The situation may not present itself. You got to be in the right situation, and we were 1 for 2 on those. So I guess that's all right. I prefer to be 2 for 2.
Any other questions for the coach?
You bet. Thank y'all.
Come on, Gerard. Also have Bucky Hodges in the hallway.
Okay, raise your hands. We'll get you the microphones. We'll start with Rick.
Coming off of the loss last week, how were you guys able to really kind of rally around each other on this short weekend and put together such a good performance?
Senior leadership and all the leadership that's on the team. The guys are very resilient. We know we didn't play our best game, Syracuse. We had a horrible taste in our mouth, and what better way to do it with a short week, a Thursday night game, 5 days later to get that taste out your mouth. So it's all credit to the leadership that we have on this team and the resiliency that we have.
In this game, you talked coming in about Thursday night not having played in it, seen it on TV maybe. What was it like to be out there in this atmosphere?
I wouldn't say it's nothing different than the other game. I mean, you still got to go score more points than the other team. You still have to not turn the ball over and all that stuff. But what was different for me was the crowd. It was great. Hokie Nation definitely showed up like I heard about all this time, so it was definitely great.
We have anything else for Jawar? Thank you. Coach Falls, raise your hands. Make sure the microphone.
But if we had told you that playing without Ken and Nigel, you'd have that kind of output from your defensive line, expected or pleasantly surprised?
Pleasantly surprised. I felt like, obviously, the key to the game for us is we needed to stop the run and make Miami one-dimensional, and we were able to do that. I was really concerned with I thought their interior defensive lineman was their strength. I thought I know they have two dynamic running backs that if you give them a crease, as you guys saw there at the end, I mean, they're very explosive, tremendously talented. But we really did a great job attacking the line of scrimmage, keeping the lanes and the gaps tight and keeping those backs in a phone booth, so to speak, and getting them one-dimensional. You know, we really proud of we had guys that did step up. I want to, my hat's off to Trayvon Hill. You all might not know, and he lost his grandmother and flew out Tuesday after practice, and came back last night, and our thoughts are with him and his family. But really stepped up and played really, really well. I thought Ricky Walker has played outstanding for us so far, and so I didn't think there would be a lot of drop off there. But Vinny Mahota had a shoulder pop out and put it back in and came back and played. I mean, I just appreciate what our kids are all about and how we fought after a disappointing loss and how we came back and prepared, and where our intensity and our focus was in practice and our intentions in a must-win situation. I was really proud of the way they worked, and it showed in our play.
It seemed like a few of those sacks were coverage sacks. The guys on the back end were just all in tight. Other than those broken coverages, I mean, how good were they on the back end?
I think we were solid. I will have to go back and look at it. I mean, Miami's got some dynamic kids, and Kaya, I thought he played one of his best games tonight, and that's the one thing we're going to get. We're going to get people's best shot because we're Virginia Tech, and that's a compliment to our program and our kids, and so he played well, and I did think we did some nice things back there. We did a couple things that we turned guys loose when we were playing man coverage, which is discouraging and frustrating, but those are at least correctable. I felt like going into the game, they weren't really complex in their passing game. They did a lot of vertical shots, though. And, Andrew Matuapuaka had to run down the middle of the field a couple times, with the receiver, and did a great job of creating a tip pass, and we had great break on a deep half coverage concept there, and Terrell got the pick. But in a couple other, we had zone pressures and did a nice job with that. But it was a combination of things. I think good coverage made for good rush, and then I think our kids were relentless up front. I felt we had a little bit more four-man rush this week than we did last week. I felt like we could get a situation where we could get three guys at least one-on-one, and where they couldn't double somebody, and our kids did a nice job with that.
Bud, you mentioned keeping Yearby and Walton in a phone booth, so to speak. How critical was Woody Barron to our untrained eye? He seemed to have a dominant night.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing great football right now. Not good football. Woody's playing great football. And you talk about a guy Obviously has abilities, twitchy, explosive off the ball, but plays with great hands, great technique. He's a powerful kid and can get off of blocks, but he can get off, he recognizes play side and backside right now and can flatten out and those type of things. I thought our linebackers did a great job, though, of getting downhill and creating those combination blocks that they work on our 2 shades and our 3 technique, that they come off right now, and that creates a one-on-one, so we should be gap sound if we're getting off on the football. And I thought we did that for the most part. They ran. We had a check with me package that when the back was at home, we were going to bring a little bit of a pressure because that was a naked look for them, and wanted to get some pressure in the quarterback's face, which they never did but they kind of ran into the blitz, which Stacy, he understands what we do a little bit, and we end up making an adjustment, going to bear, and create a couple minus yardage plays in that. And so our kids did a nice job of working the game. And being good with our adjustments when we needed to make those adjustments in the game. But, you take away a couple plays, I was just really, really pleased with the effort, and now we'll enjoy this for a moment and get ready to go up to Pittsburgh, which they've had an extra week to prepare, and it's going to be a big-time football game up there. We've got to go up there. They're fast and physical, and we need to go turn around and play another great football game against an outstanding football team.
Final question for Coach Foster here.
But other than obviously costing them yards, how demoralizing is 8 sacks to a team that's defense is already hurting a little bit, its defensive line is already hurting a little bit, just in terms of psychologically tiring them out?
You're talking from our end of it, tiring out or their psyche?
How demoralizing was it?
With that for Miami, hopefully it was tremendous, But again, I'm really proud of our kids, how they stepped up. We challenged some guys. You had Trayvon that was going to have to step up and play a significant role. How Sean Gaines was going to be a guy that was going to have to step up and play a significant role. Seth Dooley, Ricky Walker, Steve Sobchak. Those were guys that, besides a Tim Settle, but those were some guys that had not maybe played as many snaps prior to this game that, we talked early in camp that that's going to happen. And you've got to train every day like you're the guy because you're a play away in this sport because it's such a physical game, that you're a play away from being the guy. And I thought our kids responded really, really well to the challenge and stepped up to the opportunity.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank y'all.
Questions for Bucky? We'll start over there with Ricky. All right, got my driver.
It seemed like y'all were taking a lot of shots throughout the game. Is that something you guys saw coming in that you might have had a chance to have a big game today?
Yeah. I mean, Gerard playing a hell of a game. It was certain plays we put in this week that I had a feeling I was going to get the ball on. And coach just dialed it up. I just went with the game plan.
Raise your hands, reach the microphone for questions for Bucky. Anything else? I'll go back to Jason.
Bucky, did you feel like you had any kind of mismatch going against their guys tonight?
Yeah, I always feel like I got a mismatch. It don't matter who's out there. That's just how I feel. That's my attitude. It don't matter who across from me. But like I said, Gerard was putting on the money today. O-line stepped up big. It was a good overall team win. Like Coach Foster said, he had young guys stepping up on defense, making plays. Just a good overall team win. So I'm going to next week.
Bucky, obviously you've got a win head-to-head against North Carolina, now one against Miami, the two teams that I think will probably pick the most often to win this division. You got a chance to get one against Pittsburgh next week. Are you at all surprised that the amount of success you guys have had so quickly under Coach Fuente and kind of where you're at in terms of controlling your own destiny now?
No, I'm not surprised. Coach Fuente, what he instilling in this program from day one, his motto was draw the line. And we was just drawing the line on these games like this, just losing games in the fourth quarter, just little things. Just attitude, how hard we work from January up to now. It's not a surprise. We put the work in, and we reaping the rewards of our work.
Do you have anything else for Bucky? Thank you very much for coming. Questions for Sam? Mike?
First off, I know it's the other side of the ball, but you aware of Trayvon Hill, his situation with his family and going home? And if so, what did it mean to you to see him come back and play the way he did tonight?
Yeah, I was aware of it. Trayvon has a lot of character, and it's good to see him get out there and just play the way he did and play with that passion and emotion. And I know it meant a lot to him, what he did out there tonight, so I was really happy for him.
I know Coach says he always carries a play like that, halfback option pass into each week. Did you know there was something in this defense that if you got a certain look, he was going to go for it, or were you kind of pleasantly surprised when you hear him call it?
Well, yeah, Coach told me, Coach Cornelison told me that, I should be ready. He said, "Are you going to be ready to run that play?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be good." Because actually in practice, I overthrew him a couple of times, so he was really nervous about it, but luckily it worked out.
To follow up on that, how did that touchdown pass unfold from your point of view? And did you have to convince Coach Fuente that you deserved another chance to throw one after the bowl game there?
Yeah, actually, there's a funny story. After he was obviously watching our bowl game, and when I threw that duck, he reminded me of that. Like one of the first times I met him, he said, "Yeah, you don't have to worry about overthrowing the ball for us." But it turns out he was wrong, so that was good. But yeah, on that play, I was just waiting for the safeties and the corners to bite down hard on the run, and once Steven got open, just let it fly, and it worked out. Yeah, you just want to take everything one game at a time, and that's what we try to do. You can't let the past game leak into this game. I think we did a really good job of putting that last game behind us and coming in and just playing. And obviously we love playing at home and love playing in front of this crowd, and we just feed off of them. So it was awesome to play in this environment, and it was a lot of fun.
Do you have anything else for Sam? A little bit more?
Were you practicing that with Steven just this week or for a few weeks now? And did you get a kick out of the fact that it was a fullback Steven that you got to hook up with there for that one?
Yeah, we've had that play in for a while, and it's awesome. I love Steven and everything that he's about, so it was awesome to get a little fullback to fullback connection there. So it was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Sam. All right. Question now for Tremaine.
Hey, Tremaine, even without Ken and Nigel tonight, you guys seemed determined to get in Kaya's face, and how important was that to sort of disrupt him, given that he was so efficient coming into tonight?
Oh yeah, it was definitely important. Like you said, missing two big-time guys, but I commend the younger guys that stepped up and played. They definitely played a tremendous game, and I think we all came together as a football team, and we definitely did it for them.
Obviously, Woody put up a bunch of numbers tonight, but from your vantage point, how much of an impact was he tonight?
Oh, Woody's a big-time player. I'm excited every time. I'm just excited to be on the field with him at the same time. Always can expect a guy that's going to give it his all each and every game. So definitely a big-time player.
And after the yards and points Syracuse put up last week, how eager were you guys as a defense to come out here and sort of get that out of your minds?
Well, of course, we wasn't happy with the loss that we had last week. So, all week we were just practicing hard. This was a must-win game for us, and I think we came together as a defense and played well.
Given what Trayvon had to go through this week, was this a particularly emotional week for you guys? Did you feel like you guys kind of came in tonight with a little bit of extra emotion, sort of boosted by his situation a little bit?
Definitely. If anybody, I know he was. He definitely, mentioned that he wanted to do it for his lost one. So, I take my hat off to him. He came in and played a big-time ball game. And, a guy that's that strong to be able to play under those type of circumstances, definitely big time.
Any other questions for Tremaine? Okay, thank you.
We're still waiting on see if we got Woody and Stephen Peoples, so hang tight, y'all.
keep them in mind.
Knowing that Ken and Nigel down here in the front, knowing that Ken and Nigel weren't going to be able to play tonight, how much did you put on yourself to say that I've got to have a good game tonight for us?
Yeah, I thought it was implied. You know, that all four of us, all six of us that were in the rotation had to have a good game. And me being the most experienced, I knew that, you know, the younger guys are going to follow my example like they have for myself, Nigel, and Ken. So I thought, you know, it was implied that I had to have a big one.
First is, how aware were you of Trayvon Hill's situation with having to go home because of what happened in his family, and how impressive to you is that to have a young kid handle that and come out and play the way he did?
Yeah, definitely. Trayvon definitely grew up. You know, we found out about it about a week and a half ago, and we all just rallied around him. We knew he had to go back home this weekend. And so for him to go through something like that and to come back and even play in a football game, that's, you know, humongous. And, you know, that speaks to him as a young man and his character, and also this unit as a family.
Out very strong getting after Kaya, but it kept up the whole game. Did you sense them either wearing down or maybe getting emotionally fatigued from how many times you were beating them for sacks and tackles for losses?
Well, you know, coming into the game, I played this team 3 times, and you know what kind of team they are. They're just like us. They're fundamentally driven, and they always have great athletes at all 11 positions at any time in the game. And so we just, you know, we try to make it about ourselves and our execution versus them, and, you know, getting pressure on them early was a benefit, and we just try to keep it going all game.
In the 8 sacks you guys had tonight, how much of an impact were the guys on the back end?
The younger guys? Oh, the secondary. Oh, I mean, we're working as a unit out there. As a defense, we're one. You know, all 11 working as one. So, you know, anytime we get a sack, it's going on in coverage because he has to hold the ball. So we're working as a unit.
Does the program feel different right now after, you know, than the previous few years? What's the feel like compared to two years ago? So,
you know, I think the big thing that you know, this staff and the previous staff have in common is you know, regardless of the circumstance or the environment we're in, we all want to win, you know, and that's the thing that I think has rolled over from, you know, the Beamer tenure to Coach Fuente and the coaches that we have now.
You guys had that disappointing loss at Tennessee, a disappointing loss at Syracuse. Both times you've come back with extremely strong performances. Is there something you see in the makeup of this team that allows you to refocus or be more motivated, extra sharp after things don't go your way?
You know, I think it just speaks to the maturity of the group. We have high standards going into the season just throughout the summer, and we know that, you know, when we lose, give credit to the other ball club, but it was our fault for the most part. You know, we just look at the film and we try to learn from it and know that, you know, if we execute and we all play together, that we can play with anybody.
Anything else for Woody? Okay, thank you very much.
Hey.
Everybody get a book. Anybody else get a file?
Yeah, that's cool. So that's it at the podium, folks.
Anybody else need a file?
What's that? He escaped our coverage.